Hello, everybody. It's Dave. How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. Hope you're having a great day. I am. All right. Yeah, I am. What time is it? Oh, it's 9 o'clock. I'm making a video. Well, I might as well do it now because it's on my mind. But let's talk about patience. Patience. Now, I'm not talking about patience like medical patience. I'm talking about patience, waiting, being calm, collected, cool, that type of thing. Because I think a lot of us just don't have patience. We lose the patience because we want to feel better. We want it now, and this and that and the other thing. And we search for all these things, and then we're not even patient with our families. And we get mad and we have to handle what am I gonna do? And a lot of this thing can be handled with time and patience. Give it time, and have some patience. Very simple, very easy, hard to do. And I know this because in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of patience. And time didn't want to give it. Because in the beginning of my journey, just like the beginning of everybody else's, and some people were still in it, I had no patience. I had no time. I thought everybody should be catered, helping me and catering to me and all this stuff and understanding me when I really didn't understand myself, right? So I was constantly yelling and blowing up and all this stuff. And, finally, I'm not going to go through the whole story. I did seek some counseling and some therapy and medications. And over time, it started getting easier to deal with people. Whether it's people outside of my family, inside my family, my wife, started getting easier and easier to give it time and patience. And I'm glad he did because my wife is still here. I'm not an asshole. Well, some people think I'm an asshole, but that's for a different reason. Um, I'm not an asshole. I'm not impatient. I'm calm. And even like, I don't always hear correctly, okay? Because my vertigo has almost stopped. I've only had one vertigo attack in the last 13 months after my sac decompression surgery. I'm never going to say I'm cured or I'm in a remission because I can come back at any time. And to me, that's jinxing myself. But over time, I've learned to deal with the tinnitus. I've learned to deal with the fullness. I've learned to deal with off balance a lot easier than always taking a medication or doing woe is me. And even with my hearing, okay? And this is for instance. And it happened this morning. My oldest son, who's off on Tuesdays, who's hopefully will be moving into his house very, very soon. We were talking, and I couldn't hear him that well. Now, I only had the cochlear in. I didn't have my hearing aid in because I put this in the charger. And I could make out what he was saying, but some of the words was kind of because he was mumbling, and I kept going, what? And then finally I said, David, I don't have a hearing aid in. Can you speak up a little bit louder? Oh, yeah, I forgot. And I went, okay. Instead of yelling at him, because before it would be, what is wrong with you? And it was just like, hey, can you speak up a little bit? I don't have my hearing aid in. I don't have the cochlear in. You still sound a little bit like, the chipmunks. And, oh, yeah. So I was patient. And I've been giving it a lot of time. You see what I mean? I could have started World War III at 7 o'clock in the morning. But, no. Have patience. Deal with it. And we move on. Now, I understand that we have spouses or partners or whatever that they don't have patience. They have the patience of a fart. Okay, a fart in the wind. They want to go back to being the life they used to live and all this stuff, and you just can't do it anymore. I get that. Okay? I really, really do. As a matter of fact, here's another for instance. Yesterday was my granddaughter's recital. Okay? And it's loud in that auditorium. I know it is because I've been there. Okay? And I didn't go because the noise still bothers me. It ramps up the tinnitus. It does all the stuff but the vertigo for me. So when the tickets were being sold, my wife said, "Hey, I know you're not going to go, but I got to ask anyways. Do you want a ticket?" And I went, "No, I don't want to put myself through it. I just had this surgery a month and a half ago. I need to be here for you. If you're not feeling well, so I'm not going to put myself in that predicament." She was understandable, no problem. But before all that, a few years ago, when my youngest son was in school, I wouldn't go to his concerts. And my wife would get mad. And my in-laws would get a little upset. Because they couldn't understand how the noise would bother me. The loudness. So instead of, one time I had gotten mad and blew up. And then after that, I was like, you know what? No, this is the way it is. And I gave it time. And I gave it patience. And now, it's a lot easier. They're not up my butt. And I'm not yelling at them. Because I gave it time and patience. Same thing with my nephew's weddings, my niece's weddings. Once that dance music hits, I head for the door. I'm gone. I'm outside or we're going. Because the noise. And they actually understand. And they actually thank me. My niece Liz, last year thanked me for going all the way to Connecticut for her wedding, knowing I probably wasn't staying for the whole thing. And she said, "I was actually happy you were here, that you made it and you came." I said, "I wouldn't miss this. I don't need to be here for the party, but I wouldn't miss it." And, she was happy. Now we got to go to another wedding in October. Another nephew's getting married. They're going to do the same thing. And they're going to understand because I gave it time and patience. And they're giving me time and patience. So, just to wrap up everything, give it time and patience. And remember, it isn't all about us. Okay? It's not. And we can't act like it is. Because there are other people that are in your life that are involved too. And on that note, I'll talk to y'all later.